Welcome to Kora Tuning 101. I make my koras with the traditional rawhide strips, and the strings come from the tailpiece up over the bridge into these tuning strips, and then the string is wound around the strip, and that's what holds it in. And the strips are just held by friction. I think most of my koras are made with this style, and I really love it. I love the traditional aspect. I love the quote-unquote primitive aspect, yet incredibly fine ability to tune very finely. This combination is really attractive to me. I made one kora, my first one I made with viola tuners, like friction peg tuners, and that worked okay, but I think this is much better actually. Of course, using say guitar machines, which you see more and more in modern koras, is easier. You just can't get away from it. But my main point of this tuning, and I could certainly make koras with that if someone wanted them, but this is my favorite way of doing them. But my main point of these videos, as part of it as an instructional tool for people that buy my koras, but also to demonstrate that this really old, ancient method of tuning is actually really accurate and really fine, and the simplicity of it is really beautiful to me. In terms of, basically what happens is you tune it higher in pitch by raising the leather strips up, and lower in pitch by pushing it down. That's basically it. What I generally do, let's see, where's that's a bit low there. What I'll do is I'll tune it above the note a bit, and I pretty much always use my iPhone with a tuning app. I use ClearTune, but there's a whole bunch out there, and you could use a chromatic guitar tuner. It has to be chromatic though, it can't be just for the 6 strings. Works great. It lets you a perfect pitch, and then you're off to the races anyway. So what I do with the tuning is I'll push the strip up. I put my thumbs underneath here, underneath the part of the strip facing me, both thumbs on both hands, and with my right or left hand I'll support the back of that strip with my index finger and push that just above the pitch. Okay, so that's higher obviously. And then what I'll do is I'll push down to take it down into tune from this part of the strip facing me. But I'm not just pushing that part down, but I'm also bracing the back of this tuning strip with my index finger. And you can be extremely fine with this, like minute percentages of a pitch easily. And that's basically how I do it, you know. And if you get one of my koras, it'll be all set up, and all the strips will be evenly spaced. You might be able to see here, these 3 are really close together. It's reaching the point where I'm going to have to adjust it so that these are spread out a bit more. But what will happen over time is these strips will start getting closer and closer together where you can't tune it up anymore. And at that point, what I'll do is I'll slacken the string off and start raising or lowering the strips by adjusting the string length, you know. So, as an example, I don't know if you see this one? Okay. So I'll lower this down. Actually, this one. Lower that down. On these longer strings, I'll actually take it off the bridge, so it slackens it a bit more, and quite simply put the nail underneath the string on the strip. I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see this on the video. It's pretty close. And just tighten that a bit, you know? And then I'll follow that along the tuning strip to the back. So like I said, the strings are quite simply wrapped around the tuning strip to hold them in. The thinner the string, the more turns there are. just to hold it, you know. And the other aspect of this is that the thinner strings take up less space, and conversely, the thicker strings, like these ones here, are take up more space on the ring. So, like for instance, this low E string, I've got 3 wraps on it, whereas in these ones there might be 8 or even 9 or somewhere in that range, you know. That's quite simply all it is. Okay, I'll have to tune that up again. Let's get it back on the bridge. Ooh, it's going to be really high. Again, as an example, push it above the note I want, and then with my thumbs pushing down on the strip, bracing it at the back. I'll just lower that down. You can easily hear it. What was I going to say? Sometimes what can happen is, especially when it's really dry, like it's quite dry here now in northern Thailand, is the strips will slip. I tune my koras with a pretty tight tension, I think, and these lower strips can slip quite easily because there's a lot of tension on them. In more humid climates, it grips better. A lot of times what I'll do, if it's just a little bit, I'll basically lick my fingers and make it wet around the neck. The neck's not varnished or anything, it's just plain wood, and that will hold great. What can happen over time is these strips can start stretching. It's just a natural material, and leather is quite inconsistent when you get into this kind of fine work. And in that case, what I'll do is, you know, loosen the string off and fill that gap that's created with just wrap some string around the back, like a kind of jute or something like that. Or you could even use leather lacing. Almost anything will work, you know, and that will tighten the loop up. Definitely what I go for is that there's a bit of an angle. That's emphasizing it more than it needs to, but there's an angle to it, so it's not on the post exactly horizontal. That will stretch out normally anyway. So for instance, when I string it, I do it really tight, but I know it's going to stretch out, so I'll try to, by the feel of the leather, try to figure out where it's going to go so it'll get this nice shallow angle. But, you know, it changes and it needs to be adjusted. It's not really a problem. I guess that's it for now. If you have any questions, contact me from this video, email me or whatever. I'm happy to I kind of ramble, right? And happy to help out with Skype chatting. So maybe that's enough for this video. I'm going to do some more with more videos about balancing these rings with more detail. It's a bit tricky right now. I live alone, and there's no one to like come in with the camera to see the fine details of what I'm doing with my fingers. But maybe when I have a visitor, I'll get them to do some videotaping for me and do some more videos. But I think that's about it for here. The one thing I can say is that I think for many people that these, like, koras typically have 21 or 22 or even more strings. Mine have 22. And it can be kind of intimidating, you know. But it's actually quite easy. I can, when the instrument's balanced up, I can get it into tune within 3 or 4 minutes if I'm using a tuner. It's a different state in a time when, like from now when it gets into the rainy season, things will shift a lot, so I'll have to do kind of a deeper kind of readjustment. But and they'll even, in steady weather, they'll even hold their tuning quite a long time. Quite often they'll drop in pitch, but drop fairly evenly, so if you're not too picky, you can get away with it, you know. So I hope that helps a bit. Thanks for watching.